From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Police have seized more than 100 cannabis plants after a raid on a Tasman Peninsula property yesterday. A 45-year-old man has been charged with trafficking a controlled substance and cultivating a controlled plant for sale. He'll face court at a later date. They call it the Derby effect, a quiet town brought back to life by the mountain biking boom. Now another Tasmanian community is bracing for an influx of two-wheeled tourists.
If you want the verdict on Tasmania's newest mountain bike trail, just talk to the experts.
It's really good. Trails are a bit wet at the moment from the rain from the past few days, but it's getting worn in. Really soft, really fun, lots of jump, lots of flow.
This muddy track winding through forest is the latest link in the $4.1 million vision to connect Latrobe to Sheffield. 32 kilometres have now been finished, with roughly 70 left to go. Today's opening also comes with a new pump track at the Railton trailhead, and almost anyone able to ride a bike can strap on a helmet for the challenge.
We've just gone above and beyond what we really needed to do. We just really wanted to make a big impact with the quality of our trails here.
The track, named Wild Mersey, is expected to be completely done and dusted by next year. Kentish Council hopes it will pump up the tyres on the local economy.
I'm hoping it'll bring an economic benefit to the town, probably what I call the Derby effect, some economic growth into the town, and today's visitors here gives me some idea what could happen.
Seven Sheds Brewery is among businesses hoping to see more tourists pour in.
I know a lot of mountain bikers, and they do tend to work up a bit of a hunger and a thirst while they're out there playing on the trails.
They've even made a special beer for the occasion. This new ale with a lower alcohol content has been specially crafted for the tastes of mountain bikers.
And they have expanded into snacks. Others in town are already looking to cash in. What was once known as the town of Topiary could soon be called the Ride to Railton. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
A graffitied shipping container outside the Hobart Town Hall is offering dark mofo patrons a glimpse into life after a riot. British artist Jimmy Corti created the eerie miniature English town model where only police and media crews remain after an apocalyptic event. Using peepholes, patrons can view the aftermath.
It's a bit like looking through cameras. You know, we're directing the view to a certain extent, but not completely, so people get very specific viewpoints.
Their work will be on display until June 23. The next generation of Tasmanian GPs has spent today perfecting suturing wounds on pig flesh. The 3-day training workshop uses pig skin as its texture closely resembles human flesh.
With our public health system being fairly stretched in the emergency setting, GPs are more and more managing these wounds within the practice.
Those undertaking the course say the skills learnt today are vital.
Lesions and repairing lacerations. So a lot of really good skills for us to take back to our regular general practices when we go back next week.
Other areas covered included patient management and mental health. A woman living with cystic fibrosis is on a mission to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Meg DRAFFIN is training for the gruelling 7-day climb and has already raised almost $30,000 to help others with the condition.
At first glance, Meg DRAFFIN is an energetic young woman living life to the full. But since birth, she's lived with cystic fibrosis, a genetic condition affecting the lungs and digestive system.
In your lungs, they do deteriorate because of chronic infection and illness. And in the digestive system, it's the inability of the pancreas to break down food into enzymes.
CF affects 1 in 2,500 people. Once thought to be a death sentence, medical advances are making it easier to live with the condition. And Meg's determined to show that progress, aiming to become the first Australian with CF to climb Africa's Mount Kilimanjaro.
And I thought, well, wow, if I did do it and I could raise awareness about CF and raise money for it, then that would be amazing, and I couldn't think of a better idea really to challenge my lungs.
Meg's currently undertaking a grueling fitness program, preparing her for the 7-day climb, and will be joined by her partner, Hobart Radio Breakfast presenter Nathan Roy.
I know how much she's putting into this, how much work she's doing, the message she's sending out, and I know she'll get to the top, and she'll make sure she gets to the top.
Meg's already raised $25,000 and is determined to raise even more to help others with CF.
You just got to get out there and take a challenge and not let a condition like cystic fibrosis stop you, and that's exactly what Meg's doing.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
To the TSL, and it was a nail-biter at North Hobart Oval today, with the Tigers holding on by a goal against fierce rivals the D's. Lauderdale doing it easy over Clarence, while overnight North Launceston were a class above the Blues at UTAS Stadium. The Tigers came out firing at North Hobart Oval, booting the first 2 of the match with Lockie Clifford solid in front of the sticks before the young D struck back to snatch the lead. But the visitors were on a mission, shifting things back in their favour to take a 15-point buffer into the first break. A fiery contest ensued, with neither side willing to back down, setting things up for a big second half of footy. With the North Hobart faithful behind them, former AFL recruits Colin Garland and Sam Darley combined as the D's clawed back the difference to just 1 point in the final quarter. But with the Tigers desperate to continue their push towards finals, the side held on in a 5-point thriller. Clarence's disappointing season continued at Lauderdale Oval, with the home side never in doubt, helping themselves along to a half-time lead of 6 goals. The Roos tried holding on for dear life, but they couldn't contain the might of the Bombers, as the home side held on to top spot on the competition ladder with a 70-point drubbing. It was a scrappy old affair at UTAS Stadium overnight, with the first major not coming until almost 20 minutes into the match. The hosts had 2 more in them before the first change, as the Blues struggled to get going. Spurred on by their skipper, the Bombers stepped things up in a dominant second quarter, booting 4 to extend the lead to 30 come the long break. Overwhelmed and out of answers, the visitors were kept goalless in the third, as the reigning premiers showed why most still consider them flag favourites, storming home the 69-point winners. The Southern Huskies' New Zealand NBL hopes are hanging in the balance after going down to the Canterbury Rams in disappointing fashion overnight. The side now needs to win the rest of its matches on the road or risk missing playoffs. Locking horns right from tip-off, the Rams were on fire as the Huskies went cold, left trailing by 7 at the end of the first. With the home crowd fired up, Canterbury continued sinking them in the second, but the visitors couldn't return the favour despite several bites at the cherry. From there, things only got worse, with the Huskies down by 28 points heading into the final period. Hopes of a miracle comeback were quickly shattered as the Rams cruised home the 26-point winners to leave the Huskies' finals ambitions hanging on a knife's edge. To soccer, and Devonport survived an early scare over underdogs Glenorchy Knights at KG5, extending its lead over Olympia and South Hobart in the title race with a 5-2 win.
Good evening. 13 degrees today in Hobart, 14 the top for Launceston, Burnie and also Devonport. 14 for the Bass Strait Islands, Smithton, Wynyard, St Helens and Bushy Park. 13 degrees for Low Head, Scottsdale, Campania, Ouse and Strawn. 12 at Fingal with 11 degrees for Sheffield. On the charts, low cloud crosses across the state today. Further out, you can see thunderstorm activity in the Bight with the cold front moving through. Another cold front visible south of WA. Tomorrow, high pressure dominates the south of the continent as troughs move across the Bight and offshore from northern New South Wales. Northwesterly winds 5 to 15 knots, reaching 20 about the west later, seas between 1 and 2 metres, and north to northwesterly winds below 10 knots for Central Lakes. 14 in Hobart and Richmond tomorrow, 13 and morning frost for Ouse. Some early fog for Launceston, 13 for Devonport, 11 degrees for Deloraine, some showers there. 13 for Burnie and Strawn, 14 at Curry, showers throughout, with cloudy conditions and 15 for St Helens and Swansea, 14 and showers at Whitemark. Showers about the north and the west on Monday, pretty fine elsewhere. Those showers extending statewide throughout Tuesday, with showers for the west and the south on Wednesday, but pretty fine elsewhere. Around Australia, 19 degrees in Perth tomorrow, 17 and showers for Adelaide, 16 in Melbourne, 13 and frost for Canberra, 18 and showers for Sydney, with 27 in Cairns. And it's a little bit cloudy this evening, 8 degrees in Hobart, 7 for Launceston and 9 in Devonport. Good luck down the lanes, Rach. Have fun for me.
Yeah, I will. My big boy turning 9 today. Happy birthday, Hamish. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.